Hi everyone and welcome. Another week, another chair yoga session. This time in a slightly different setting. So I'm recording this from home today and I've set up my camera so hopefully you can see a little bit outside and you can just see the leftovers of the snow that we've had here in London, which well, it's been very pretty, but very inconvenient. I'm sure you can agree with me here. So I hope you're well and you are nice and cozy indoors because it's really, really cold outside. And I don't say this lightheartedly. As an Austrian originally, I'm used to much colder temperatures and much more snow than this. But I have to say, not a fan of this right now, but good news is the weather is going to get warmer in the next couple of days. I think by the weekend, the snow should be gone, and hopefully, we can all leave the house again without having to worry about slipping, which has definitely been my worries. Too much so that on Monday, the start of the week, when there was most of the snow, we were snowed in. Our house is it has a little driveway which goes down a hill, and because of the snow, we couldn't make it up the driveway, so I ended up having to spend the whole day just in the house, which, to be fair, considering it was that cold, I didn't mind too much. So anyway, today is a sunny day, blue skies for a change, which is actually really lovely, and the snow just makes everything just a bit brighter, which is great. So, chair yoga session, we're going to do a fairly short session today. Um, just something that you can squeeze in almost maybe every day if you want to. And also something that's quite gentle because when the weather is this cold, that affects the way we feel in our joints, especially. And I myself, can definitely feel it. So I'm sure you can probably feel too. So everything is just a bit more achy, a bit more creaky, needs a little bit more time to warm up. So we're going to be super gentle on especially the hip joints today and the lower back. Unselfishly, or selfishly, because that's the area that's very sore for me right now. So, but always an area for anyone that needs to be protected and that we need to look after. So we don't need any props today. Just make sure you sit comfortably in a good solid chair, um, something that's giving you a sense of comfort. So if it's a hard chair, maybe pop a blanket or a pillow underneath your seat. Check that your feet are in a comfortable position, and then begin to shuffle back on your chair, all the way to the back, letting the whole spine rest down. Bring the palms facing upwards onto your lap. Give the head a little shake, shrug out those shoulders. Maybe you can find few little clicks and pops already. And then allow the eyes to close gently. And as always, before we get started with movement, we're going to take a few moments to get grounded in our practice, in our body, allowing the mind to jump around for a few moments. Just notice what the thoughts are that are present or the thoughts that are distracting you. Are you planning about later in the day or in the week, or are your thoughts being drawn back to the past, events that have happened? And it tends to be one of the two. And once you've identified what is a future thought or a past thought, label it as such. I'm thinking about lunch. That's a future thought. And then almost as if by magic, as soon as you label the thought, it kind of drifts off. And then there might be another thought. And we might have to do it again and again and again. And that's okay. So take a few moments just labeling your thoughts here, just tidying up our headspace a little bit. And then letting the awareness come in onto your body. And let's take a few deep breaths together. Inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth wide, side out. Again, slow breath in. Open the mouth wide and sigh. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And then let everything get soft, heavy On that exhalation, let yourself settle in onto your body. Notice how your physical body feels right in this moment. So take a scan through the body, noticing any sensations that your mind is drawn to. And that tends to be sensations that are maybe unpleasant. That's just a human nature. We tend to focus on those things first. So let's just do that little check-in, noticing any aches, any creaks, any strains on the body you can feel. Again, label them. My right hip feels a bit tender. My left shoulder is feeling a little bit tight. All those little creaks, just label them. And then once you've taken a little journey through the body, let's take another deep breath in. And sigh it out. That's nice. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling deeply. And then a big sigh out. Bring a little wriggle into your fingers and into your toes. Just little wriggles, movements to begin with. Notice how the feet, the fingers are feeling. Do they feel warm? Do they feel cold? Almost as if you're trying to play an invisible piano with your fingertips and your toes. And then let the head join in, rolling the head around. And when you feel ready, extend the fingertips away from the body up towards the ceiling and find a little stretch. Maybe a little stretch, maybe a big stretch. Waking up the body, and there might be a little yawn that wants to escape right at this moment. That's good news. That means the body is ready to take in some bigger breaths, some more oxygen. Lower the hand slowly down into your lap. And taking a low gaze first, blink the eyes open. And then gently lifting the gaze. Good. Let's move our face around a little bit. And actually, let's use our fingertips for that. So bring your hands onto your cheeks. And yes, this might look a bit silly, but that's okay. Nobody can see you. It's just me that can be seen. Bring your fingertips onto your cheeks and give your cheeks a little rub. Now we can slowly walk up the temples and then the forehead. That actually feels really nice. It's always nice when somebody else can do it for us, but in absence of that, just giving ourselves a little rub is fine. And that sensation of touch is encouraging blood flow. So you might start to feel a little bit warmer, moving up and down the nose, the side of the nose, and the eyebrows. And then with tapping the fingers lightly, let's move all the way from the top. And you might hear the little tapping from my fingers down to your chin. Almost feels like it's tickling. It almost feels like I've got ants crawling over my face in a good way. In a good way. If it annoys you, then of course, no need to do this. Good, beautiful. If you want a little bit more of an active practice, come and shuffle away from the back of your chair. So you sit a little bit further forward. Lengthening the spine and bring the feet a little bit further back. Again, so your ankles are underneath your knees. So we're looking for that right angle movement. I'm going to move sideways so you can see for a moment. So this is what we're looking for, not too far forward, not too far back, just so we're in a nice neutral position. Good. Lovely. And then let the head gently shake from side to side. Going slowly here from side to side, or maybe a little bit faster if your body feels ready for that. Noticing how your neck is feeling, if there's one side that feels in any way more open than the other. And then let the head come back to center. Good. Draw the shoulders up to the ears and then gently back down and really visualize those shoulder blades moving down the back of the body. So shoulders are away from the ears as much as they can be. Good. Finding a sense of engagement for the lower belly. So lower belly draws in, pelvic floor gently lifts up, just to give yourself that little lift from the inside. And if ever during the practice you find you're starting to slouch, let's see if we can switch that on again. If that's just not possible or it's uncomfortable, it causes you discomfort in the lower back, come and sit back on your chair and use the back of your chair as support like I'm doing today. So see what works for you. Good. And then slowly allow the chin to roll down towards the chest. Let the head get heavy. And we're looking to find a really juicy double chin, a really nice juicy double chin. So the back of the neck can lengthen, everything else in the body stays the same. And then let's draw the chin over towards the right shoulder and then back to center. So we're drawing this almost half moon-like shape. Inhaling, draw the chin over to the left shoulder and back to center. And then one more time on each side. So over towards the left one more time as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, back to center, uncurling through the spine. And bring the head back on top of the spine here. Let the right ear fall down towards the right shoulder. Head gets nice and heavy. And that might take a few moments to really switch off here. If this is uncomfortable, of course, maybe skip this part of our session here. We should feel a nice, gentle stretch to begin with on the left side of our neck here. And we can add those layers now if you want a little bit more. The next step would be to extend the left fingertips away from the body down towards the floor. We're just going to reach today. We're not going to do any other fancy arm movements. Reaching with the fingertips as far as you can. If you want a little bit more, and this is really optional, so if you're already feeling a really good stretch here, stay there. If you want more, chin can slowly draw down or over towards your right shoulder. And as a final step, wherever you are, take your right hand, place it onto the left side of your neck, and let's give ourselves that little rub again. So again, a little touch. You can go up and down the neck, the shoulders, wherever your body needs it. Frankly, I could really do with a good shoulder and neck massage. I might just have to wait a little longer. So give it a good rub. And again, you might notice that it almost starts to feel like there is heat creeping up on the side of the neck, the shoulders. And then release your right hand back down into the lap, draw the left hand, and then the chin gently can roll back down to center. So coming out slowly, uncurling through the spine, back into an upright position. Ooh, feel that openness over on your left side. Maybe with the eyes closed, just to you can observe the difference between both sides. The magic of just bringing a little bit of movement and awareness and attention to a part of the body, how that body part just feels different. It might feel more spacious for you. It might feel more alive, warmer, brighter. And then moving on to the other side. So blink the eyes open, allowing your left ear to fall down towards the left shoulder. And take a few moments again to switch off. Our neck is doing a really excellent job in balancing our head, which is quite heavy all day long. So sometimes the neck just needs a little bit of time to kind of stop doing his job here. So let it get heavy. And then optional to do those extra layers if you want to, extending your right fingertips down to the floor, reaching as far as you feels good. And you might find, especially if you're right-handed, that this side feels a lot harder. Reaching a little bit more. Option to draw your chin over towards your left shoulder. And then also an option to take the left hand over onto the right shoulder to give yourself that little rub all the way up and down the neck. And observing if you can feel the difference between the two sides. Making sure you work all the way into the shoulders, tip of the shoulders, up the neck. And then releasing the left hand back down into your lap. Release the right hand down. Let your head roll back to the center of your chest. And then uncurling through the spine. Coming back into an upright position. Feels already a lot more open, a lot better. So let's add some movement here to get some energy going. Release the fingertips down to the floor. Inhaling, reach it high. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Let's do it again. Inhaling, reach it high. And exhaling to release. Good. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Release your hands down into the knees. Draw the chest forward, lift the heart, coming into cow posture. So I'm going to move sideways so you can observe here. Draw the chest forward, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. And then exhale, chin tucks to the chest, and slowly begin to curl through the spine, all the way down into the tailbone. And we've got to be gentle here. So if your spine feels fine, of course, move in your own pace. But for me, as my spine is feeling a little bit tender, I'm going to go nice and slow, not over exaggerating that discomfort or that movement in the lower back. Let's do a few more. Flow with your breath, inhaling to reach. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, rounding the spine. Good. Few more, inhale. And exhale. And then last round of each. Inhaling, draw yourself forward, open the heart, and then exhaling to round the spine. And then uncurling through the spine, come into an upright position. So even if your shoulder, your spine or your back feels quite sore, these small movements are very likely going to help to relieve a little bit of the pressure, just to bring some movement, some fresh blood flowing into these parts of the body. But it's important that you work within your range of motion. So if you're feeling you're moving into the discomfort part, then just kind of tone it back, work within what works for you. Even the smallest movements are going to be beneficial here. So let's add a few more movements, side stretches. We're going to go nice and slowly into this. Keep your left hand on your left knee, right arm reaches down onto the floor, and then we're going to slide that arm all the way up the right side of the rib cage, releasing the fingertips up to the ceiling, and then over onto the side. Keep both sitting bones grounded, rooted down. And if your shoulders or your arms don't feel good doing this, you can also just keep your hand down on your knee. So reaching up, breathe deeply into the side of the ribcage, and let's observe if we're starting to roll forwards. If you are, just tone it back. Maybe we're not reaching the arm all the way up. The arm doesn't need to be straight. There can be a little bend. We're not trying to win a beauty contest. Last breath here, over into the right side of the rib cage. And exhale. Inhaling, reach the arm up. Exhale, lower it down. And then swapping sides, left arm reaches down. And then slide it up your left side of the rib cage until the fingertips come above the head. And then gently sinking over towards the opposite side. Keeping those sitting bones, especially that left sitting bone, rooting down evenly into the floor. Good. Breathing deeply. And slow breath out. Whew, good. Last deep breath. Really directing the breath into the side of the rib cage. And release. Inhaling back to center, lowering the arms down. And then shrug the shoulders a few times. Let's take a very gentle flowing twist here. So we are finishing our spinal warm-up. So extend your hands forwards, and then we're going to gently let them slide over onto the left side of the body. Bring the right hand over onto the outside edge of the left knee. And the left arm just gently moves back. Inhale, we're going to move back to center. Exhale, swapping sides. Left arm over onto the right knee. The right arm gently just moves behind you. Inhaling to reach. Exhale to twist. And then moving on, so continuing with that movement, you can maybe gradually go deeper, or maybe that's enough for you. Again, even those small movements, moving the spine in all directions, it's going to make ourselves a little bit more free around the spine. Good. Let's do one more round. And the exhale, we're moving into the twist. On the inhale, we come back to center. And then we're going to make this our last one, over towards the right side for me. Inhaling back to center. And then exhale, lower the arm down. Good. So time to release the lower back a little bit. So come down onto your forearms and allow the spine to really fully round. Chin comes down to the chest. So if you feel like there's a little bit more space for you, you can bring the hands down onto your shins, maybe all the way down to the floor. For me, I'm going to stay up on my knees today. My belly starts to get in the way a little bit. The head keeps heavy. Gently shake the head from side to side and just allow the lower back that sense of release. So I'm going to move sideways again. You can see it's not fancy, but all it does, it gives a nice stretch to that lower part of your back. Head is heavy, so not the head. Shake the head, checking that we're not holding tension here. Last breath in here. And slow breath out. And then slowly walk your hands back up, come back into an upright position. I'm going to stay seated sideways. You're still facing towards me. Let's add a little bit of movement here for our hands. So bring the right fingertips down towards the floor. Next inhale, we're going to reach the right arm up. Exhale, gently sink it back. Inhaling to reach it high, maybe allow the gaze to follow. Exhale, sink it back. So gentle, sort of almost like a pendulum-like movement. Let's do one more. Exhale, sink it back, and then inhale, reach it high. And if your shoulder allows, we can allow the arm to fall back behind us for full rotation. If that doesn't work, you can make the movement smaller. If that still doesn't work, you can bring the fingertips onto your shoulder. And if that still doesn't work, just move your shoulder in its socket. So we're just adding a little bit of movement, a little bit of heat for that shoulder joint. Good. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Bring the hands down onto your knees. Take a moment. Let that settle. And then swapping sides, extending left fingertips down to the floor, inhaling to reach up. Exhaling, let it sink back. Whoosh. Inhaling to reach. Exhaling, gentle swing back. Two more. And exhale. So on the inhale, we're growing a little bit taller. And then on the next exhale, let the arm gently fall back behind you. I've got the glass in the way here, so I'm making it a small movement. Inhaling to reach. And then gently coming back. And these windows are wonderful, wonderful things, apart from when it's summer and it's 35 degrees outside, because then, of course, it's very hot in here too. But now on a cold winter's day, it's just lovely to get some daylight in. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Whoosh. And then bring the hands onto your knees. Take a moment. Shrug the shoulders. Move the head. Anything. Let that go. And hopefully the upper part of our body feels a little bit more active, a little bit more mobile. So let's move down onto our feet. We're not going to do too much on the legs today, but we're going to start to walk our feet out. So lifting the left heel, the right heel, so we can stretch out for the balls of the feet, because even if we are staying seated a lot, especially if we're not feeling very energetic, which is not surprising when the weather is this cold, or if we're not feeling, particularly comfortable in our body and we're staying seated a lot, that affects our circulation, and our circulation affects the way we feel in our joints, especially if you're getting cold feet, cold hands. Your joints are getting achy. We still want to encourage that blood flow. So even if you're joining me in the camp of staying at home and sitting down, then just a couple of times a day, do this, even for just for a minute, just to give yourself that little boost. And you might feel a lot more energetic afterwards. Good. All right, so I think this has probably been a minute based on how my calf muscles feel. So I'm going to lower the heels back down and then release. Good. So let's spread those toes really nice and wide so you feel grounded through the feet, and then roll the shoulders up, back and down. We're going to take another twist, and you have the option of going a lot deeper in your twist depending on how your hips feel. So option one, if your hips are not feeling happy, you can just cross the right foot in front of the left. So that's option one. That is, even if you have problems with your hips, that's a great option to do. Option two is to bring your right knee on top of the left, so crossing the feet. That's a little bit more of a stretch here for the hips. The last option, only if that feels really good for you, can begin to slide your knee over towards the right, bringing your ankle on top of the knee and allowing the knee to fall down. Now this is give you quite a healthy stretch here on the side of the hips, the hip flexors, but it's also a rotation. So not necessarily something that goes well if you have chronic hip pain. So if you do have hip pain, or you like me, you're just feeling a little bit achy, go for this option, so option two or option one. I'm going to stay with this option, and then let's move deeper into the twist. Take the left hand over onto the outside edge of the right knee and let the right arm gently swing behind you. You can grab hold of the back of the chair, or maybe even swing the arm behind you and kind of let it rest on the back of the body. Inhaling, let's lengthen the spine. So uncurling here up to the crown of the head. And on the exhale, draw the shoulder back behind you and allow the gaze to follow. So we're trying to find a rotation for the whole length of the spine here, all the way from the tailbone, up the lower back, middle back, upper back, all the way into the neck. Not prioritizing the neck in any way. The neck is one of the most mobile parts in our spine, so it's not necessarily a part of the body that needs more mobilizing. So holding here, taking another 2 breaths, so inhaling, lengthening, and as we exhale, we move slightly deeper. One more inhale and exhale. And then the end of the exhale, slowly release, come back to center. Back to middle, and you might find your body feels a little bit unbalanced now. So that's quite normal. We're going to move on to the other side. So uncross your feet are back to parallel, and then swapping sides. So this time left leg comes in front of the right, left knee on top of the right. Or if your hips are feeling really open, then bringing your left ankle on top of the right knee. The knee gently falls down, and that definitely doesn't feel good for me today. So I'm going to, again, stick with option 1 because it's still going to give us that lovely twist through the spine. Bring the right hand over onto the left knee and the left arm behind you. Lengthen through the spine as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, moving yourself. So using a bit of traction against that left knee, moving yourself into the twist. So left shoulder moves back, the gaze gently moves back, but the rest of the spine follows. And we're using the breath to go gradually deeper with every exhalation. 2 more breaths. And then make this your last exhalation. On that exhalation, release, come back to center, and cross your feet, and roll the shoulders up, back and down. Good. Let's take a couple of rounds of sun salutations just so we can weave all those motions that we've been doing together in a bit more of a dynamic sequence. If you're not a fan of those sort of sequenced movements, then feel free to sit back, close your eyes, and just follow us for the breath. If you want to do a bit more, there's always options to do more. So finding first our breath, feet are hip distance apart, allow the eyes to close, and then gently bring the awareness back onto your breathing. Finding a slow breath in, and a slow breath out. 2 more like this. Inhale and exhale. Final breath here. Exhale out. Gently blink the eyes open or take a low gaze. Release the fingertips. Inhaling, reach the arms high. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Let's do that again. Inhaling, reach and grow. Exhale, drawing it down. One more time. Inhaling, reaching, growing. Exhale, move the hands down. Release the hands onto your knees. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, rounding the spine, so cat posture. One more time. Inhale, draw yourself forward, cow pose. Exhale, folding forwards, bring your forearms onto the knees. Allow the head to sink down. If you have enough space, you can head the fingertips down towards the floor onto your feet. Take an extra breath in here and a slow breath out. Next, inhale, reaching your left fingertips up towards the ceiling, finding an open twist, or you can take the half twist version that I'm going to be doing. Exhale, lower the gaze. Inhaling, right fingertips reaching higher, find the half twist. Exhale to lower. Walk your hands slowly back up the knees, stay all the way down, drawing the chest forward, lifting the heart. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine. Release the fingertips, inhaling, sweep them tall. Exhale, bring the hands down, release the hands onto your knees, close the eyes, take a slow breath in, and a slow breath out. 2 more like this. And a last breath in. And a slow breath out. Release the fingertips and join us for the second round if you want to. Inhaling to reach the arms high. Exhale, bringing them down. And again, inhaling, grow tall. Exhale to lower. One more inhale. And exhale. Release the hands into the knees. Inhale, draw the chest forwards. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the spine. Inhaling, growing forwards. And then exhale, fold forward, so forearms onto the knees or all the way down towards the floor. Take an extra breath here. And a slow breath out. Next, inhaling, the left fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling, or find the half twist. So either option, perfect. Exhale to lower. Inhaling, opposite fingers reaching high. Exhale to lower. Walk the hands back up the knees if they're down. Draw the chest forward as you get to the top. And then exhale, rounding the spine. Release the fingertips, inhaling, grow tall. And then exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Release the hands onto your knees, close your eyes, and begin to shuffle back in your chair. Now you're going to take a slow breath in. And a gentle sigh out. And take another round of breathing. Let yourself get heavy on that exhale. And slowly let all effort drain out of your physical body. And before we settle into our relaxation, let's take a round of pranayama, so a breath exercise. And this is my favorite when I'm up at night, when the thoughts don't want to calm down. So we're going to lengthen the inhalation and the exhalation, but extending the exhalation by 2 counts compared to the inhalation. So we're going to inhale for the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 6. And by extending the exhalation, we are going to invite the mind to calm down, the side of the nervous system to switch on that's in charge of resting, of digesting, of healing. Take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in and out. Inhaling, exhale. Take another 3 rounds in your own time. And at the end of that last round, let go of the count and let your breath come back to your natural rhythm. Take a few moments to observe your breath, noticing the movement in your body. And let the awareness slowly drift down the body all the way into the sole of your right foot. Releasing the top of the right foot, your right toes, ankle, lower legs, right knee, right upper leg, and the right side of the hip. Releasing for the sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left toes, ankle, lower leg, left knee, left upper leg, and left side of your hip. Softening across the belly, into the lower back, middle back, upper back. Releasing your right shoulder, right upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the right hand, palm of the right hand, right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Release across the chest into the left shoulder, left upper arm, elbow, lower arm, top of the left hand, palm of the left hand, left thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger. Releasing all the way up the neck, across the throat, soften the jaw, release the tongue, cheeks, nose, eyes, and forehead. Just for the next few moments, allow yourself to rest here, being present in your body and in your mind. And if you find that the mind is wandering off, then just again notice, label. Is it a future thought? Is it a past thought? And then bring the awareness back onto your breath. And then slowly, without moving or changing anything about your physical posture, begin to notice the sounds around you, the obvious sounds like my voice, and then also the more subtle sounds that might be unique to wherever you are right now. And then inviting the awareness back into your body by taking a few deeper breaths. A few gentle movements through your fingers and toes. I'm going to make those movements bigger. Maybe the head wants to join in. And on your next inhale, extend the fingertips away from the body and find a stretch in whatever way that feels good for you right in this moment. Waking up the body ready for a beautiful day ahead of you. And then draw the palms together in front of heart center. Palms touch, thumbs in contact with your sternum. And it's quite a light grip. There's some space between the palms of your hands here. Taking a moment in our Anjali Mudra, there's that hand gesture to remind us of being kind to ourselves, to each other, the world around us. And taking a moment to honor and send yourself a big sense of gratitude for making the effort of practicing today. Honoring that, our bodies, and of course each other, gently bow your head down towards your heart. Namaste. Thank you very much. So thank you for joining me. I hope you're feeling all right. So quite a gentle session today, but you know what? Sometimes we just need a bit of a more gentle session. And especially I need a bit more of a gentle session some days, I have to say. So I'm now entering the territory where being pregnant is not too dissimilar from feeling a little bit less mobile as you get older. My balance is off, my hips are achy, my knees are achy, my joints are getting a bit creaky. And those of you that have been practicing me for a while will know that when we started these sessions together was first when I got pregnant, because I realized that actually a mat-based yoga practice is just not suitable for me anymore. So I'm excited to be able to continue practicing with you for many, many months to come. Don't you worry. The baby's not due until the summer, so we've got plenty of time together. And I really hope that before then we can also meet in person. But in the meantime, I hope you're staying nice and cozy. If it's still cold or icy wherever you are in the world right now, be extra careful. The last thing we need is slips or falls. It's not what we need, including myself. So have a lovely day, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye bye.